Okay, so let's have a look at our first Spanish words, and you'll see that we hardly even need to add the translation here. So, importante, importante, important. Imposible, impossible. Conveniente, convenient. And one which isn't instantly recognizable, but you may have seen it on a good chocolate bar. Bueno, bueno is good. Bueno. Okay, so just look at those a minute. You can see they are very similar to English, and there are thousands of words just like this. So you already have a head start. Look at imposible, impossible. What do you think possible would be? Posible, posible, nice and easy. And listen to the pronunciation of convenient. Conveniente, conveniente. And you can hear there that the letter V is always pronounced as a letter B in Spanish. Conveniente, convenient. Okay, so let's move to the side. Again, very straightforward. To say it's in Spanish, or it is, it's just es, it's. And to say it's not, or it isn't, it's just no es. Really straightforward, no es. Okay, looking at those two columns, how would you say it's impossible? What would that be? It's impossible. Es imposible. Es imposible. It's impossible. Don't worry if you're finding this too easy at this stage. Remember, it is a beginner's mini crash course, but we will be building up the language quite quickly. Okay, how would you say it's not convenient? What would that be? No es conveniente. No es conveniente. It's not convenient. Last one, how about it's good? It's good. What would that be? Es bueno. Es bueno. Okay, let's go to our third column. And here we've got some verbs, doing words. And it's the full verb, so to do something. So to practice is practicar. Practicar, to practice. You could probably guess what practicar español means. Practicar español, to practice Spanish. To study is estudiar. To study, estudiar. What do you think to study Spanish would be? How would we say that? Estudiar español. Okay, next. To visit Madrid, visitar Madrid. Visitar Madrid. And again, the V pronounced like the letter B. Visitar. And to participate is participar. Participar. And you'll notice the letter C there is pronounced like th, like TH. And that's in Spain, that's in European Spanish, participar. And in Latin American Spanish, that C is pronounced like an S, participar. So to participate. Okay, I'm going to say a couple of sentences and see if you can work out what I'm saying by looking at the table. Es imposible visitar Madrid. Es imposible visitar Madrid. What does that mean? It's impossible to visit Madrid. And what does this mean? Es importante participar. Es importante participar. It's important to participate. Okay, let's swap around and you do the speaking. How would you say it's important to study? What would that be? It's important to study. Es importante estudiar. Es importante estudiar. And make sure that you pause the video to give yourself some thinking time whenever you need it. How would you say it's not convenient to study? It's not convenient to study. What would that be? No es conveniente estudiar. No es conveniente estudiar. And how would you say it's good to practice? Es bueno practicar. Es bueno practicar. Okay, so we've put down our first layer and we're going to build up from there. And this is how the ProSpanish process works. It's all about the sequencing. Okay, so we've got some familiar words there. We have importante, and I've added a few more. So urgente, urgente, urgent. Again, nice and easy. Urgente, urgent. Diferente is different. Diferente. And notice there's only one F. They don't tend to have double letters in Spanish. So diferente. And bueno, again, good. And malo is bad. So the opposite of bueno, malo. Malo, bad. And then we'll go to our first column. Es, nice and easy again. It's. And then we have I have something. So tengo is I have, tengo. Tengo algo, I have something. Tengo algo. And no es, it's not. Okay, so how would you say I have something different? What would that be? Tengo algo diferente. Tengo algo diferente. And our third column, just 2 mini phrases, and we'll learn them together as it kind of sticks better like that. So for me and for you. Para mí, para ti. Para mí, para ti. For me and for you. Para mí. Para ti, for me, for you. And, well, you know, es is it's. So how would you say, so we'll skip out the middle column, how would you say it's for me? Es para mí. Es para mí. It's for me. Or you may be in a cafe or a restaurant and you're saying, for me, and then whatever it is that you're ordering. So, para mí, un café. For me, coffee. So para mí and para ti. And we'll just take a brief pause there while I mention our incredibly popular all-in-one special offer. This takes the complete beginner or near beginner right up to a conversational level of Spanish in a series of very easy to follow steps. Now, all the lessons on this YouTube channel are supplementary, whereas the core levels 1 to 6 is very much a step-by-step program delivered by the same teacher, by me. And while the teaching style is very similar to what you'll be used to from these videos on the channel, the key difference is that every lesson carefully builds on the previous lessons, so you can really feel that sense of progress of going from little or no Spanish up to a level where you can confidently hold a conversation in Spanish. As soon as you complete your purchase, you are sent a download email. The download is yours to keep and you can use it on any of your devices. And this is available exclusively on prospanish.co.uk. Okay, so let's get back to our lesson. Okay, see if you can work out what these phrases mean. Es malo para ti. Es malo para ti. What does that mean? It's bad for you. It's bad for you. Es malo para ti. How about no es importante para mí. No es importante para mí. It's not important for me. How about tengo algo urgente para ti. Tengo algo urgente para ti. I have something urgent for you. What about this one? Es diferente para ti. Es diferente para ti. It's different for you. And how would you say, and this is using something from the previous table, how would you say it's not convenient for me? What would that be? No es conveniente para mí. No es conveniente para mí. Okay, so your turn to speak. How would you say it's urgent? Es urgente. Es urgente. What about I have something important for you. Tengo algo urgente para ti. Tengo algo urgente para ti. And that would be, I've got something urgent for you, but I said I've got something important for you. So that would be, tengo algo importante para ti. How would you say, it's not good for me? No es bueno para mí. No es bueno para mí. And what about this one? You'll have to use a word from the previous table, but I think you'll be able to remember it. It's not bad to participate. What would that be? No es malo participar. No es malo participar. Okay, let's add our next layer now. We'll start with things we already know. Tengo, I have. I don't have would be no tengo, straightforward. We already know es is it's, and no es, it's not or it isn't. So far, so good. Now something new. I want is quiero. Quiero, I want. And it's very often used for I would like as well. We're sometimes taught as children that I want sounds a bit rude. For example, when you're requesting something in a shop or a restaurant, we'd say I'd like. In Spanish, quiero can be used for I want and I would like. So you can guess that I don't want is no quiero. No quiero. I don't want. I wouldn't like. And finally, you have, or in a question, do you have? So in Spanish, the question and the statement, we just use the same words, but the tone changes slightly. So tienes is you have or do you have? Tienes. Okay, so let's go to our third column. This is quite guessable. Una invitación. Una invitación, an invitation. Una invitación. We've got a couple of pronunciation rules we've already introduced. We can see them again in this one word. The letter V is a B, invitación, and the letter C is pronounced like a TH, invitación. And in Latin America, it would be invitación. Una invitación, an invitation. Then we have, well, we know algo is something. Algo frío. Frío, cold. Algo frío. Algo frío, something cold. Algo interesante, something interesting. Algo interesante, something interesting. And we'll finish with two pets. Un perro. Un perro. And a cat. Un gato. Un gato. Think of un gato, a cake, and perhaps with a cat sitting on it to help you remember. Un gato is a cat, and un perro, a dog. Okay, so just looking at those two columns, how would you say, I want something cold? I want something cold. What would that be? Quiero algo frío. Quiero algo frío. How about I have a cat? I've got a cat. What would that be? Tengo un gato. Tengo un gato. I've got a cat. And what do you think this question means? ¿Tienes un perro? ¿Tienes un perro? Do you have a dog? Okay, now our first column, we've just got a couple of things here, and we won't always include these in the phrases we're going to create. So, en serio means seriously. En serio, seriously. And pero is but. Pero. And one thing to notice here is that pero, but, and perro, dog, are pronounced differently. So pero has one R and perro has two R's. And you can see that when there's a double R, it's rolled to give that R sound. So perro, and but is pero. And it doesn't matter at all if you don't get that straight away, but bit by bit you'll tune your ear to those sounds. And I always make a little joke in class about trying not to get your butt and your dog mixed up. Okay, so have a listen and try to work out what I'm saying. En serio, quiero una invitación. En serio, quiero una invitación. Seriously, I want an invitation. How about, pero no quiero un perro. Pero no quiero un perro. But I don't want a dog. How about, En serio, ¿tienes una invitación? En serio, ¿tienes una invitación? Seriously, have you got an invitation? Do you have an invitation? How about, pero tengo algo interesante. Actually, let's add on something from the previous table. Pero tengo algo interesante para ti. Pero tengo algo interesante para ti. What does that mean? But I've got something interesting for you. And what about this one? Again, using previous vocabulary. En serio, quiero estudiar. En serio, quiero estudiar. Seriously, I want to study. And it could be, en serio, quiero estudiar español. Seriously, I want to study Spanish. Okay, let's swap it around and you say the sentences. How would you say, but I have something interesting? Pero tengo algo interesante. Pero tengo algo interesante. How about, have you got a cat? Or do you have a cat? ¿Tienes un gato? ¿Tienes un gato? How about another question? Do you have something cold? ¿Tienes algo frío? ¿Tienes algo frío? And how would you say, seriously, I don't want an invitation. En serio, no quiero una invitación. En serio, no quiero una invitación. How about, I'd like something cold. Quiero algo frío. Quiero algo frío. Okay, and let's have a few where we're mixing up using some words from the previous tables. Seriously, it's for you. What would that be? En serio, es para ti. En serio, es para ti. And how would you say, I want to study something interesting. Quiero estudiar algo interesante. Quiero estudiar algo interesante. And how about this complex but doable one? I want to participate, but seriously, it's impossible. I want to participate, but seriously, it's impossible. How would you say that? Quiero participar, pero en serio, es imposible. Quiero participar, pero en serio, es imposible. Okay, so that last example should give you some insight into just how quickly you can become conversational in Spanish if you use the right techniques and the right approach. And of course, as mentioned earlier, the ProSpanish Levels 1 to 6 course does just that. a step-by-step fast track to conversational Spanish. And that's available exclusively from prospanish.co.uk.